We're gonna make a beautiful flight to Guadeloupe with an Airbus 350. My name is Captain Wong, and François Flo will be our first officer today to this flight.
I'm gonna say hello to the ATC.
Ground control flight deck.
Yes, sir.
Please push and start long push to leave stand Bravo 4 and next one available for 2 aircraft coming in.
I got it, sir. You need to clear the stand, so it will be long push, sir. Facing will be south.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Flight instrument.
Checked.
Checked. Briefing.
Confirmed.
Flap setting.
Confirm plus F.
V1, VR, V2 thrust rating.
Checked.
Checked. Squawk.
0674 set.
To the line.
Bonjour France, 610 Bravo, on approche 41, on ferme.
Bonjour à France 610 Bravo, après
D'accord.
le départ du 350, alignez-vous piste 24 et attendez.
Après le départ du 350, on s'alignera 24 et on attend Air France. And flight 59 SRS runway auto trace blue.
Check and trust the set.
Check.
Dragon 75 Alpha, vous repérez en vue d'un
Rotate.
trafic actuellement 3 nautiques du touché.
Avant 75 Alpha, on a visuel sur l'avion 3 nautiques.
Positive
Attention
line.
que
Gear
ça
up.
doit être croisé vers ce trafic pour ouvrir à droite si ça vous
Nav.
Avant
Check.
75 Alpha, on croisera derrière le trafic 15.
Trafic à 782 au Roméo. En cas d'approche interrompue, poursuivrez dans l'axe de piste, cause hélicoptère en attente au sud des installations.
En cas de raté dans l'axe Corsica 82 Roméo.
Set direct to L'Aigle and flight level 120 blue.
Shanwick, French West 40 Charlie, positive cell call. Your backup frequency is 8879. At 45 north will be Santa Maria on primary 8906. Backup 6628 for French West 40 Charlie.
Roger, all correct, thank you very much.
Have a nice day, French West 40 Charlie. Thank you.
Thank you.
So here we are joining a Oceanic, passing CPAL en route to Passas. Coming back on our departure, we left the gate Bravo 4, taxiing onto runway 24 in Orly. No problem at all on the departure, slightly bumpy, but not much. Cruising altitude initially 370. A bit busy in the airspace, waiting for a final level 380 that we are now. Apart from that, everything went fine, and I'm gonna start now on our routing. As I said, the departure from Paris-Orly, runway 24 facing west. On the L'Aigle departure, which is basically flying us west of Paris. Then southwest, joining the south of Brittany, and west again to start our Oceanic at CPAL, which is with Shanwick area. Then we will continue with Santa Maria, and finally with New York airspace on the Oceanic. Leading us to our final destination, Pointe-à-Pitre. After 22 north, 55 west, arriving in Pointe-à-Pitre via Benji and Bosset arrival for Guadeloupe Island just here. This will be after 8-hour flight and 3,800 nautical miles.
You have here the FCU. The FCU is a management of the autopilots, but for short-term actions. Here you can set the speed, here you can set the heading, here the altitudes, and here the vertical speed. And here on both sides of the FCU, on the left side and on the right side of the FCU, you have the FIS control panel. The FIS control panel is used to modify the navigation display. If I want waypoints, I can add waypoints. If I want to see the airports, I can switch here. If I want to see the weather, this switch. If I want to see the terrain, this switch. I can change the scale, and as I showed you before, you can change the map. To keep an optimum attitude of the aircraft, to reduce the drag and to reduce the fuel consumption. In fact, when you stay at the same level, the attitude of the aircraft is slightly changing like this. The aircraft is lighter and the aircraft is changing his position like that. And that's not good for the drag, that's not good for the fuel. In order to keep this optimum altitude, we have to climb, and today we're climbing by step of 500 feet to follow the optimum altitudes precisely.
I want to try to describe you the differences between the 330 and the 350. Here in Air Caraibes we are flying both airplanes, and we choose to get the 350 as it's a brand new airplane. The fuel consumption is 30% less than the 330, and also the space in the cabin is way bigger, and it's really good for the passengers. Also we have a pressurization system giving us a really lower cabin altitude, and for the passenger comfort, they can feel really relaxed after the flight. Apart from that, the flight deck is also bigger, and Airbus has been working on the pilot and machine interface, and especially through new screens and the interface with a trackpad, giving us the opportunity to switch from one side of the screen to the other, and flipping a display from one side to the middle side, for example. The performance, the aircraft has got bigger engine, giving us the opportunity to fly higher, especially with the 350-1000 today. We are already at flight level 390, 3.5 hours or 4 hours after departure, which is quite good compared to the 330. Ready for the briefing?
I'm ready for the briefing.
Approach briefing. I'm pilot flying the aircraft Airbus 350-1000. Serviceable. The weather as the latest for Pointe-à-Pitre. You can expect runway 12. The wind, easterly wind for 10 knots, and broken clouds at 4,500 feet. The temperature 33 degrees and the QNH 1015. So quite high temperature, and it might be a bumpy final approach. 10,260 feet long, and we might expect taxiway Echo to join the main apron. The resources now, we are at the end of the flight, so perfectly okay. We cross-check together for any problems. The environment, safety altitude 3,600 feet, and the mountain is on the right side of the ILS approach. Technical status of the airplane is serviceable, no times are checked, whether we talked about it, Jepsen chart. We've got the 10-9 for the airport, 10-2 Alpha for the Bosset 5 Papa arrival, followed by 11-1 ILS Zulu, runway 12, and the AirNav as well on the 12-1.
Okay.
It's giving us 44 minutes extra. That's 4.5 tons. The descent now, we expect the top of descent at 1729 in 142 nautical miles. Safety altitude around here is going to be I guess 3,600 feet around the airport. The speed constraints are 250 not below 10,000 feet, reduced below 250 at 3,000 feet around the airport. And the approach will be, according to the latest weather, first will be the visual approach. Let's go for the briefing of the visual approach via Papa Romeo. So basically we descend at 3,600 feet, which is the MSA, 25 nautical miles around the field, and 20 nautical miles around the field we are entitled to descend at 2,000 feet. The goal is to reach 180 knots, joining downwind left hand for 12, and making sure we have an entire visual of the entire surrounding of the airport for traffics. And then base leg 12, final 12, to land runway 12.
That's copied.
Stabilization criteria, as we're going to be visual, the goal is to be stabilized at 1,000 feet above the ground, and the latest is going to be 500 feet. The missed approach, it's already in the box, and it's going to be straight ahead, Adlo, Olavi, and then joining Katim if we decide to
that's for the alternate
to divert to Fort-de-France. If not, 40 minutes to wait in Pointe-à-Pitre for another approach. The management of degraded navigation, as we're going to be visual, that's going to be, if we are not visual with the field or anything blocking the runway, that's going to be a go-round. The call-out is going to be go-round flaps. The second option will be the ILS 12, Bosset, Papa Romeo, and then we might expect radar vectors or the entire procedure. I'm going to resume for you, joining final at 11 nautical miles, 3,600 feet on a minus 3.2 degrees slope for the minimums of 245 feet. In case of go around, it's gonna be straight ahead, and then joining the hold at Papa Romeo, 3,600 feet, 220 knots maximum. Stabilization criteria for this approach is going to be 1,000 feet above the ground, and the management of degraded navigation. If we are not visual, it's going to be a go-around flaps. Flaps full is an approach speed of 143, reverse idle, manual braking. The taxi, we talked about it, Echo left joining the stand 8 as usual, and the navets are going to be auto-tuned. Regarding the flying now, as it's going to be a visual approach, I'm going to disconnect the autopilot and the auto thrust below 10,000 feet if we are visual with the field, and then continue as briefed. Any questions?
No questions.
Approach briefing complete.
Thank you. Briefing.
Confirm.
Barreau.
QNH 1014 set.
1014 set. Minimum?
Barrow 250 set.
Barrow 250 set. Checklist complete.
Autopilot off.
Vas-y, approche de Greenbird 226 Sierra.
Flight directors off. Bird on.
Sierra, Raise approche, bonsoir. Tournez à gauche au cap 340, montez niveau 140.
À gauche, cap 340, niveau 140, Greenbird 226
Et
Sierra.
total thrust off.
Check.
Heading 235.
One, contact
Visual.
approach 121.0, goodbye.
1210, have a good weekend, Warlock 1.
Thank you, same to you.
2000.
Droite, cap 270 pour le French West 40 Charlie.
Flaps 1,
Et 40
heading
Charlie,
270.
l'altitude à discrétion par contre, juste le cap et l'altitude à discrétion.
Gear down. Flaps 3.
Flaps 3.
Speed check. Garde la puissance.
Ouais.
French West 40 Charlie, piste 12, autorisé atterrissage, en 050 degrés, 11 nœuds.
On atterrit piste 12 pour le French West 40 Charlie.
Flaps full.
Speed check. N1 48,
Parfait.
47.
Landing checklist.
Cabin crew,
Advised.
auto thrust,
Off.
auto brake,
Off.
runway condition,
Dry.
checklist complete.
And on final. Slightly height correcting.
143.
Looking for.
Okay. N1
1000.
37.
Stabilized.
N1 37.
300. Minimum
Continue.
200.
48.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10.
Spoiler. Reverse green. Diesel. So we are now in Pointe-à-Pitre at the parking position. It was a nice flight. We achieved to perform the visual approach at Pointe-à-Pitre because of that nice weather. Okay, and François, maybe you can explain.
Yeah, quite happy to manage to do this visual approach. It was good fun and good exercise, good training to fly manually this AIRBUS A350-1000. So it's time for us to go to the hotel, and we see you tomorrow for the return flight to Paris.
Flight control check.
Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Approaching Compound Sierra.
Yeah, side. This one is really small.
Yeah. 5 knots. It's going to go uphill. 37%. It's 3 knots.
Numéro pour le Flyco pour procéder sur Fox. Flyco, répète.
All clear.
Numéro pour procéder au point d'attente de Fox.
Ça c'est mon procède et maintient un point d'attente Fox.
Je procède et je maintiens Fox pour le flight crew.
You ready?
Yes, we are ready. Take off.
Bravo. P730 Bravo, contactez AIRBUS approche sur la décimal 3. C'est bien reçu avec l'approche 121.3.
Manflex 44, SRS, runway, auto thrust blue.
Check. 100 knots.
Check.
Okay. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Nav.
Check. 20 west, 47 north, 15 west, at Tiki, upper November 480, ready, arrest to destination. Flight level 350, Mach decimal 85.
And the status of the aircraft is unchanged.
So it's a go.
So we can enter the ATOPS area.
Exactly.
Okay?
Very good.
Okay.
Pareil, bonjour, le French West 41 Delta, on descend vers niveau 280 en route sur Châteaudun.
Okay. MP off.
Check.
FD's off.
Flight director off.
Bird on.
Bird on.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Five hundred. 100 above.
Lock.
300. Minimum
Continue.
200.
Okay.
One 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel.
Okay, we are here finally in Paris-Orly. After a nice flight to Pointe-à-Pitre and back to Orly. It was a nice approach because weather was nice. We flew the approach manually. Okay, François, thank you for that flight. And I hope we'll have a flight again in the next few weeks.
I hope so.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.